We're unboxing something today. I better cover that up. We're unboxing something today. It's Tuesday. I'm wearing my Speedmaster. I don't want to dox myself and Dr. Johnson. This is the CubeSatSim Lite. This is a box. Inside of this are the instructions, CubeSatSim, this micro or mini USB cable or micro USB cable, and this thing. That's all that's in the box. So this is I don't know how much it is. Go on to AMSAT's website and look up how much it is. But the directions, first thing I pulled out, possibly the worst written directions in the entire world. It works just like a CubeSatSim, except it doesn't use real telemetry. Right there is a website you can go to actually download these directions rather than, needing this. And then here's some videos that for some reason people can't figure out how to actually record videos like a normal person, and so or capture videos on their computer. So instead they just use Zoom and then use the record feature on there. So the videos have bad audio quality and the video is pretty mediocre. Here's the CubeSatSim. It's upside down. This is the worst feeling and sounding charging brick. This is bent because this is the second time recording this and I threw it earlier. But as you can see, this is terrible sounding and it's terrible feeling. This is quite possibly the worst thing I've ever felt in my entire life. This is the thing, amateur radio community. Do you know who wants cheap Chinese stuff? People that can't afford quality stuff. And if I'm buying an insert dollar amount CubeSatSim, I have my own. So this right here is going in the garbage. This USB micro cable, it doesn't feel too bad. It doesn't feel too good. It says SMAYS, the top quality of when I think of USB charging cables. But I'm lucky that they included a USB cable, a mini USB, because I'm running low on these. I think I'm only down to about 2 billion of these. And so now the CubeSatSim, it's built on a Raspberry Pi Zero version 3.0, or I'm sorry, whatever the one is based off the Raspberry Pi 3 is. I don't know. There it is. It does not come with a little heat sink, so I added my own heat sink since you can't buy heat sinks in a package of one. You have to buy them in a package of 1 billion, and so I added those onto my my Pi Star that's upstairs. So I added a heat sink onto it. The board is well built and it's actually printed super, super well. There's not a whole lot of sprue all over it, sprue like the little bits that are hanging off of it from when boards are printed real poorly. There's feels like hot glue, but it's these little feet that are on the bottom, which I don't understand why they just didn't put them over top of the screws and use those as like the standoff. But either way, it's not bad. Uses micro USB, not USB-C. Amateur radio has not discovered USB Type-C. When it does, I'm telling you, cultural revolution. It has the SD card pre-programmed with everything that it needs, a 16 gig, which is probably overkill. But then again, it's hard to find, micro or SD cards that are actually not like dummy small, or it's harder to find them that are like 4 gigs or whatever. This comes with a built-in antenna right here. This little rain sun. Sounds like what you would get on a Baofeng, but whatever. Power on and off, which you'll probably never use. And then this right here is the button that switches the modes. There's some LEDs and things like that on it to show you what mode you're using and things like that. There's a thing where you can solder on your own SMA antenna, which why would you want to if it's got a built-in one? The purpose of this is not the same purpose as the CubeSatSim full-sized, right? This is used as more of a demo unit. This is something that you can set up at a hamfest. This is something that you can set up at a school or in a classroom. This is something that you can use at home, which is what I'm using it for. I purchased this in order to test out if my satellite system, my telemetry system is working. I've always wanted to get into telemetry. Here's the problem. There are a lot of AMSAT satellites in orbit. There are not very many working AMSAT satellites in orbit, especially those that are giving off telemetry. Most of them are broken. And because of that, I needed a way to rapidly test if my system was working. And so I purchased the CubeSatSim Lite. That way I could test if my telemetry system was working rather than doing, maybe a 10-minute pass overhead and I receive possibly some telemetry because I'm going to be using a vertical instead of having an antenna rotator and Yagi set up and all that. I'm going to be using a vertical. So then I can use the vertical to test and see like, okay, is this actually working? Am I receiving telemetry? Do I have the modes and things like that in the software set up appropriately? But with this, it allows me to test that rapidly rather than a 10-minute pass. And then as it's going around the backside of the Earth, I'm waiting and waiting and waiting. Because let's be honest, there are not that many working sats left. One of the ones that's included in the program, HuskySat, rest in peace HuskySat. AO, insert number here, they're all freaking busted now. Some of them are only on for a limited amount. Some are just not on at all. And so I needed something to be able to test how telemetry was working so that whenever the next satellite goes up, in the 2 weeks that it's working before it breaks, then I can actually test and see if my telemetry is, or my ability to gather telemetry is working. I also have the ability to set it to gather slow scan TV information, which will help because this has slow scan TV on it. And so I can use that to gather slow scan TV so then I can passively collect slow scan TV images as I'm at work and or doing other things. And so that is that's kind of it about the unboxing of this thing. It's not bad. I do think that for what you pay, I do feel like there's some things that could have been better with it. Like in the box, they should have just shipped this rather than needing to include, that janky USB wall outlet and the cable itself. And the other thing is slim down this instruction manual, or maybe not slim it down, but write it in a manner that's a little bit more conducive. I mean, it arrived fine. It's a fine unit and all of that stuff. I know those are little tiny gripes and stuff like that. And I'm going to have some, AMSAT warrior in the comments that's really going to come after me. I see you. So thanks everyone for watching and have a great day. Stay safe out there.